Will Gidman completed his second 100 in his last two innings, but half-centuries from Ben Slater, Madsen and Shivnarine Chanderpaul ensured that Derbyshire kept in touch with their host Gloucestershire on the second day of the Cheltenham Festival. Gidman began the second morning on 88 and a mistimed shot almost brought about his downfall before he'd reached three figures for the second innings in succession. He did lose Adam Rouse before he was raising his bat, the keeper playing on after deciding to leave the ball from Tony Palladino too late. Gloucestershire had started the day on 304 for 6 and had now slipped from 293 for 4 at one point on the previous evening to 312 for 7, but Gidman was still there, and this edge off Palladino had him to his 100 off his 178th delivery. It was the fourth of his career for a man who averages 40 with the bat as well as 21 with the ball. In the end, his innings was an important one as wickets continued to fall at the other end. Madsen showed some very quick thinking to parry this edge from Tom Smith to Wes Durston. That gave the 19-year-old Tom Taylor his fourth wicket, and he soon had a maiden 5-wicket haul in just his fifth match, as he also removed his namesake Jack. But Gidman kept going with last man Liam Norwell to add 27 runs for the last wicket, Gidman taking his tally to 125. He was bowled by Mark Footed after he'd carried the score to 356. The innings dominated by Gidman and Will Tabaret's hundreds. Taylor finished with 5 for 58. A brief look at the Gloucestershire first innings scorecard would tell you that this was a surface where getting in wasn't that easy, but once in, then there was an opportunity to make hay. That's what the Derbyshire openers Billy Godalming and Slater were hoping for anyway. Godalming had made 11 when he gave Will Gidman his 37th championship wicket of the summer to go with his 643 runs with the bat. LBW the decision. Gidman averages 58 with the bat this year and 21 with the ball, but he was to have no more success on this day. Slater, meanwhile, had a day to remember by producing some very pleasing shots. This was only the second championship match of the summer for the 22-year-old, but on this evidence, he will be at the top of the order for some time. His driving was especially nice to watch and would have been enjoyed by an appreciative crowd in Cheltenham, one which is always filled with great cricketers from the past. Slater's 650 of his career arrived off his 85th ball with a couple of runs off the left-arm spinner Smith. The young left-hander had struck 6 fours in that and would have now been thinking of a maiden first-class 100. The only two Gloucestershire batsmen who got this far went on for a good deal longer. The pitch was becoming a rather flat one now, and it appeared to be full of runs. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Gloucestershire have got through 5 wicket keepers this year and nearly lost another one when Hamish Marshall found some extra pace and bounce from somewhere to land the ball in Rouse's face. Thankfully he was soon okay. Madsen had made a slow start to his innings as he looked to the future, but he still added 81 runs with Slater for the second wicket. Slater making 70 of the 111 runs on the board when he was well held by the now recovered Rouse, who was still brave enough to stand up to Marshall's express pace. The last session of the day belonged wholeheartedly to Derbyshire and Madsen and Chanderpaul in particular. They offered very few chances as they batted through the rest of the day in adding a largely untroubled 105 runs in 33 overs. The one chance Gloucestershire did have was missed behind the stumps by Rouse. Chanderpaul on 14 played a shot out of character off Smith, but got away with it. He wasn't far off being run out as well. Perhaps his legs are just beginning to show their age. He was coming back for a second run to take Madsen to his 50, one that was made just off 101 balls, from which the Derbyshire skipper had struck 7 fours. Madsen is just getting back to his best after a bit of a lean spell this season. Oddly, Chanderpaul had been stumped for the first time in his long Test career on the last day of the third Test against New Zealand just a fortnight ago in Barbados. He didn't mind using his feet to the spinners, After nearly taking out our camera with one shot, he often advanced down the pitch to Taylor to try to hit him on the full. A gorgeous setting, a delightful evening's weather, and one of the legends of the modern game playing shots like this. It doesn't get much better. Unless you are a bowler, of course. Just before the close, Chanderpaul completed the 192nd 50 of his career in his 535th first-class innings. His latest one had occupied 103 balls and was reached with his 5th boundary. With the weather in the Cotswolds heating up to Caribbean standards, he'll expect many more runs in this innings. He'll go again on the third morning on 50, with Madsen helping himself to a cultured 79. They've eased their side to a score of 216 for 2, and unless Gloucestershire can break this partnership quickly, there is a chance that Derbyshire will amass a big first innings lead on the penultimate day. They'll begin it, though, 140 runs behind.